Hello, YouTube. Big tech earnings are out and they're a little bit disappointing. So, what exactly happened and what did they say? It's still early, but in after hours right now, we got Google down by 4.5%, Meta down by 1.5%, Microsoft down by about 1%, and we got AMD down by about 2%. And in sympathy, we're even seeing Amazon and Tesla get dragged down. So, what exactly happened here? Well, Alphabet, meaning Google, falls after search revenue misses estimates, right? That's its core business. That's not good. Microsoft revenue tops estimate, cloud growth disappoints some. Why does that matter? Well, again, disappoint. We got the word here, miss. This matters when big tech is supposed to be growing by 54%. We're now calling them the Super Six. Sorry, Tesla, you're getting kicked out because you're not good enough. You're not super. So 54% versus the Magnificent Seven. Again, even just kicking Tesla out, the number increases even more. So when the Super Six, that's the new word of the day, Super Six. If that continues, again, excluding Tesla, if that sector doesn't deliver, these other ones have to not do as poorly because we're expecting year-over-year decline in quarterly earnings of 31, 24, and 25%. Those are pretty big. So utilities, communication services, and consumer discretionary are the only other ones that are doing well. So what does that basically mean? Well, the word disappoints, the word miss is not good when that's where we're expecting most of the growth to come from. This will be quite interesting because we actually got some pretty upbeat revisions from the IMF, and this is the International Monetary Fund. So what they told us is that they're raising the 2024 growth forecast to 3.1%, citing unexpected resilience. Whoa, unexpected resilience. Isn't that a nice word? Yes, it is. So like we talked about here in After Hours, we're noticing that the declines are more, they're more pronounced for certain ones than others. And the great part is that we actually made a bit of a cheat sheet. And let's see how I did. So we did this on pre-market today. If you want to go back and watch that video, what I talked about here was that EPS beat Whisper is 5.4%. They came in a little bit higher. My note said here that I think it's going to crush, guide up, unsure about the reaction to the news. What do? Nothing. So what's the stock doing in after hours? Well, nothing. So it's down a little bit, which means that we've not actually heard about their guidance yet. They will provide that on the conference call. That should happen in the next hour. So what's going to happen? We'll see. But I think my note was pretty accurate. I said that I think they're going to crush. So far, it's good. Is it great? No. Right? A cloud growth. So I'm looking for that AI growth. But anyways, that's what I thought here. Price action was really strong. Huge cushion to go back down to those highs. And that's the same thing here. If we now go over here to Google, here's where I said that because we just recently claimed the all-time high and are hovering around it, it will act as a pivot. I expect a big move, just unsure on direction. So if we now go here to that chart we're talking about, we're going to go here to Google. We're going to go to one month chart. So this looks like it's a double top now. We only know what the pattern is in hindsight. So if it was going to power up and go higher, it had all those warning signs because it actually claimed the previous all-time high and was currently over it. That's bullish. But now, because we're going to close this candle out on Wednesday, I'm not sure, right? We're going to have to see our gap downs for buying. We're going to get a double top here. So that's kind of what happened the last time I got up to this zone at roughly 150. It just couldn't hold it. So the analysis on Google was also accurate. I'm going to ask you for a huge, huge favor. If you could please consider smashing the thumbs up and subscribing to the channel, I would really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much for your support ahead of time. It really does mean a lot to me personally. And I thank you guys so much. All right. So that was Google. Now let's go to, that one's now done. Let's go here to AMD. What I said is that it's all about guidance. If there is an oversized move, I would assume it's to the downside. Okay, let's see what happened to AMD. AMD is down, but it's snapping back. It's down by about 2.5%. It's not terrible. What I heard is that they're not actually providing guidance for next quarter on the AI chips they're going to build. Those are going to come a little bit later. So for me, again, I don't track the semiconductor space that close. If you guys have questions or comments, drop them in the comment section. I would love to hear about it. But what I'm basically hearing is that they're on track for future AI deliveries. This next quarter is not going to be super fantastic. Hey, that's a buying opportunity. I like that. And because we're still currently over the all-time high at 164.46, it looks constructive. Come hang out tomorrow if you want to see what we think about it in pre-market as well. All right, so if that rounds out the big tech stocks, right? The Super Six. We're going to have some more a little bit later this week. And here what we're going to do is go to our weekend notes just to get a little bit up to speed on what we thought would happen. So over 480, good. We're over 490, so even better. And Jerome Powell is going to be the focus for tomorrow. Again, we got the FOMC day 2. They're actually meeting today. We'll find out the decision tomorrow. So that'll be the FOMC rate decision. We're also going to have ADP non-farm payroll out at 8:15. And then we got payroll Friday coming out on Friday the 2nd. Right now, we're expecting a Fed pause. That's great. That's good. I don't really want to talk about a pivot yet because most declines happen after the pivot. Let's make sure we don't forget about that. And then the patience to see the monthly candle close out, which is going to be tomorrow. And here's the levels we talked about again. I'll leave you that weekend video at the end if you want to go see it. I would encourage you to watch the pre-market stream if you want to see the breakdown for Microsoft, AMD, and Alphabet, where I went through that in roughly the last part of the show. So if we now think about what I laid here in the only notes that matter for this week, I said that there's going to be lots of noise out there. Yeah, there's lots of noise. So we got news about we got noise regarding news. We got economic data, which is going to come out tomorrow. And we got earnings. We still have Apple. That one's most likely going to be a disappointment. More likely going to disappoint than not. Amazon, I think, can crush it. Why? I think Amazon's a terrific business. We are above 480. Do we hold it? And we are now over 490. Do we hold that? As of right now, we are. And after hours, we're barely below it. So what's so incredible about that is that we're barely below 490, and we had 1, 2, 3 companies disappoint. Whoa, 2 with the Super 6? Yeah, 2 with the Super 6. Pretty incredible. And we even had some sympathy getting dragged down for Amazon, and now Tesla's going even lower, right? Didn't even report earnings, but sell it. That's what the story seems to be. Sorry, Tesla shareholders. Anyways, moving forward here. So 466. We talked about what that means. I would encourage you to watch the weekend deep dive if you want to see that. I will also give an update tomorrow too. The gainers and losers so far year to date. This is funky when we see these ones here all green year to date, along with chips leading tech and tech leading SPY, which was our base case going into this year. All right, so now let's go forward here to the week of January 29th, because we've just gotten through the third most important data point for the week, which is Microsoft, AMD, and Google earnings. Those are just out. Remember, tomorrow we're going to have the FOMC at 2 p.m., which means when I do tomorrow's video, I'm going to be reporting on an update about the FOMC. We also have the monthly candle close, and then we'll talk about the rest of the data after that. But so far, the outlook for 2024 looks optimistic. And when we look here to our monthly chart, I think that we're very likely going to form another monthly higher high, which is exactly the commentary I provided on the weekend about we're likely going to get a pause continue. The pivot is what I want to hear Jerome talk about tomorrow. Instead of me telling him what he's going to say, I'll just tell you on the video tomorrow. And then recession is not yet confirmed. That'll be determined. So if you want to watch the weekend video, that's now queued up here on the left-hand side. If not, maybe you want to consider subscribing and come hang out with us pre-market tomorrow to go through the market open. If not, thank you so much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.